as I was growing up in the streets, I got introduced with 21 Divisions. 21 Divisions is starting off with Dominican Voodoo. I went into to a gathering, like a house. And then when I walked into the house, I thought it was just a regular, like, gathering, partying and stuff like that. And when I went into there, they were doing spiritual sacrifices, rituals, and stuff like that. They all started with a gathering in a circle, doing prayers, trying to bring the spirits up. And I was intrigued. I was like, wow, this is like so dope. Like, I never saw this in my life. And you could see, spirits going into people, and they will start manifesting. And if you don't know what manifestation means, is when a spirit comes inside of you and it starts becoming that person. The spirit becomes them, and they start doing rituals, smoking cigars, drinking, talking about your life and who you are in life. And there was one spirit that came towards me, and he says, "You don't know who you are." He says, "You're very powerful, and we could use you." And I said, like, I was intrigued by that. I was like, yeah, like, I want that power. I want that. I want that fame. I want the money. I want the riches, because I just came from getting released from baseball, and I lost everything. I pretty much lost everything. So I wanted the fame. I wanted the money. I wanted the lights. So they said, okay, we're gonna start doing these rituals with you. You start getting baptized. Start doing the perfumes. So when they started doing the perfumes and stuff like that, the spirit started coming inside me. And as the spirit started coming inside me, I started getting this anger, this rage, and I became somebody that I wasn't at all. When I was growing up, I was raised by my mother. I was raised by my sister. I became this angry man that started selling drugs, that started gang banging, because I wasn't gang banging yet. I started gang banging as I got older, because a lot of people that would come to these meetings were rappers, drug dealers, and people who want the same power. And I didn't know that, because they made it seem like it was God, because they also believed in Jesus. They also believed in other things. And I didn't read the Bible. I didn't know. I didn't know the difference. The Bible says that we should not be worshiping idols. I didn't know that at that time, because I was so lazy not wanting to read the Bible. So I was so intrigued. I was like, yo, I just want that power, like that same power that you have, how I can just walk on fire, how I could just speak to people's lives, and I want to help people, but I don't know how to do it. So they started teaching me how to read cards. They started teaching me how to do spiritual baths and baptism and stuff like that. And I became this warlock. Throughout this whole thing, I became this warlock. But before I became this warlock, I started being disobedient. I don't know if you know what disobedient is, but disobedient is basically like I was doing my own thing. I wasn't following orders, The same thing as gang banging, the same thing as you were in prison, you have to follow order of a leader or anything. And I didn't want to follow their order. I wanted to do my own thing. So what they did was they put a curse on me. They put a picture of me into a pot and made me sick. So after a couple months later, I lost my kidney. I lost my kidney. Never. I don't have diabetes in my life, in my family's life. I don't have none of that. Heart disease, yeah, but I didn't have no heart problems. The only thing that they found was I lost high blood pressure. I had a lot of high blood pressure, and I was going to work, and when I went to work, I was getting these bad headaches, and I was telling my foreman at that time, I was doing scaffolding. I was like, I got a lot of headaches. I'm about to go to the hospital. He said, all right, go to the hospital and tell me like what's going on. So when I went to the hospital, they found out my blood pressure was over 200. And when I went there, they were like, they did my blood work, and they were like, you lost your kidneys. I was like, how? Like, I'm fine, I'm healthy. Like, how's this happening to me? You know, like I was one. I didn't understand about kidney disease, and I want to encourage people like right now, like take a yearly checkup of your body. Please check your body yearly to see what's going on with you, because I didn't know what kidney disease was, and I thought I was gonna be fine. Okay, I got kidney disease. Am I gonna go home now? Like no, you have to do a emergency surgery to get a catheter, so that we could do dialysis and take out all the toxics out of your blood and all the fluid that's inside of you and clean it up, and then you could be much better. So I was in the hospital, and as I was in the hospital, I was there. They did the surgery, they did the catheter. I ended up going into the dialysis center that they have in the hospital, in Jamaica Hospital in Queens. And I had to be there for 4 hours in the machine. Within that 4 hours, my blood pressure dropped from 200 all the way down to 64. And when it went down to 64, I caught a cardiac arrest and I died. I went black. They had to re-rise me back to life. And after they re-rise me back to life, everybody in my family started crying. They were telling me, you know, you passed away, you died. And I didn't understand at that time. Like, are you serious that I died? Like, I didn't know about that. So as I was there in the hospital, you know, my grandmother came, my aunt came, and they was like, you know, you have to give yourself to Christ. And I said, okay, I'll just go. I'll give myself to Christ. You know, what is it? I almost died. So we did the prayers and all that. And I was in the hospital for a whole month because I didn't have insurance at the time. So within that time, that whole month that I didn't have insurance, I was just there sitting in the hospital, constantly getting dialysis, 4 hours, 3 times a week, 3 days a week, 3 days out of the week. And finally, I got a chance to get out the hospital. And nobody from that I was going into witchcraft, and none of them came to visit me, none of them checked on me or asked me if I was okay, which that was weird to me. That was real weird to me. So I end up, you know, getting out the hospital, going to this church, and I want to talk about this. Like, spiritual warfare is real. Demons are real. I went to this church. I went to go visit my grandmother's church. And when I went to my grandmother's church, I saw a witch there, which I knew because I was a warlock. So there was a witch there. She's not supposed to be there. She's going to a church. So when we went to the church, I saw her. We locked eyes, and we said hi to each other. And as the service was going on, you know, certain churches, if you go to a Pentecostal church, I don't know if you know about Pentecostal churches, but certain Pentecostal churches, you know, they dance and they screaming, hallelujah, they're going crazy. But this Pacific day, this woman was there, I was there. She started manifesting into this demon, and she started speaking in demonic tongues. And then everybody around her started manifesting in a bad way. Like, nobody didn't understand this. Like, no churches knew about this. And everybody around, they thinking this is God, and it's not God. And that woman is having everybody else turn into demons. And then me, I'm watching this. I'm thinking this is cool. I was blind at the time. Like, I didn't know, like, this wasn't a good thing. I thought this was good. So I started seeing people manifest, and I started tapping my cane because I was a warlock. And I'll tap my cane, and I'll have other people manifesting around. The pastor starts seeing in this. He says, "This is not good." So he shut down the worship. He shut it down. He stopped it. When I saw that, I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is not for me. This is not for me at all." So I went back into the lifestyle of being a warlock, but I left 21 divisions. I ended up doing Orishas. Orishas is, you ever heard of Beyonce?
Of course, yeah.
You know Beyonce, right?
Yeah.
So Beyonce worships Ifa. Ifa is Achun from the Orishas. That's who I had. I had Achun, which is the goddess of the ocean, of the lake, excuse me, the goddess of the lake. And there's another woman called Yemaya. She's the goddess of the ocean. So I transitioned from 21 divisions is Dominican Voodoo, into African Voodoo. It has African, Cuban, and Haitian Voodoo. And when I went there, that's when it got real. That's when I started dealing with big-time drug dealers, big-time artists. I'm not gonna say who are they, but they were big-time artists that were paying. They were paying the high priest that I was going under, paying him so that they can get fame. And they would use the music of the African beats as samples into their music to conjugate people to like their music. It's bugged out, but it's true. And then the drug dealers, they would pay off the high priest to protect them from the cops, protect them from the ops, and stuff like that.